Hello Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another standard gameplay video. So while I was playing the deck that was released yesterday, which was a Mayhem deck, the only game I actually lost was against a deck using another new card chosen by Valgavoth. So I thought I'd give this one a go, and as I was building it, I also thought one of the other decks we played against may have been doing this but didn't get the required card. So, what is chosen by Valgavoth? It's 4 mana enchantment in paper in the Spider-Man version. This is with great power. It's enchant creature control. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 for each aura and equipment attached to it. So very similar to Ethereal Armor, or that gives +1/+1 and first strike, and I think only for auras and not equipment. But however, the last bit, all damage that we dealt to you is dealt to enchanted creature instead. And obviously, in the lore of Spider-Man, I think the idea is something turns into Spider-Man and protects the innocent. So what do we do with this? Well, the game that I lost put it on Barbed Servitor, a 4 mana 1/1 indestructible, and it says when it enters we suspect it. Suspect means it gives menace and can't block. When it deals combat damage to a player, we draw a card and lose a life. And then whenever this creature is dealt damage, target opponent loses that much life. Now, indestructibility is key, because if we put Chosen by Valgavoth on it, it means all the damage done to it that's done to us instead won't kill it. And obviously that last line also means that any damage done to it is just going to cause our opponent to lose that much life. Now, the other card we are using, and this is why I think one of the other decks we played in the yesterday was also this deck, is Ketramose, an old favourite from Ether Drift, but I haven't seen around often. A 3 mana 4/4 with Menace, Lifelink, Indestructible. However, it can't attack or block unless there are 7 or more cards in exile, and whenever 1 or more cards are put into exile from graveyards and or the battlefield during our turn, we draw a card and lose 1 life. And obviously, again, if we get chosen by Valgavoth on this, it might not be able to attack straight away, but it makes it very hard for our opponent to win because, yeah, they can't kill us by damage. Although, obviously, if they exile Ketramose or the Barbed Servitor or have ways to remove enchantments, we are in trouble then. And the other new card, we've got 2 copies of Clandestine Work. A 3 mana, surveil 2, draw 2, lose 2 life. So a good way just to get through our library and get things into the graveyard for cards like Ghost Vacuum. We've all seen this 1 mana artifact, tap to exile target card from a graveyard. We can pay 6 and tap it to sack it and put all creature cards exiled with it onto the battlefield as 1/1 spirits, but we don't do that. This is just more to 1, graveyard hate, but 2, start exiling cards so we can get up to 7 for Ketramose. And obviously, if we want to do it on our turn, we do get to lose a life and draw a card with Ketramose. Then 2 copies of Deadly Cover Up. This is where getting things in a graveyard really helps, because as an additional cost to cast a spell, we may collect evidence 6, meaning we exile cards with at least mana value 6 or greater. Then destroys all creatures. If evidence was collected, we exile a card from an opponent's graveyard, then search its owner's graveyard, hand, library for any number of cards of that name and exile them. Then that player shuffles, then draws a card for each card exiled from the hand of 2. So this is great. We can, because while it's collect evidence 6, it means we can just exile more cards, and if we exile enough cards to turn on Ketramose, happy days. And then we have 4 copies of Scene Rip from Edge of Eternities. When it enters, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls mana value 2 or less till the enchantment is a battlefield. 4 copies of Strategic Betrayal. Target opponent exiles creature they control and their graveyard. Then 4 copies of Shelter by Ghosts, because we're playing a white deck and it's stupidly powerful. And then 4 copies of Sharp Mage's Rescue to give one of our creatures hexproof until end of turn. If they do have a bounce effect or an exile effect, a target exile effect, obviously it's something like an Ultima, then that's still going to exile everything. But that's probably good for us though. Then if we get another Ketramose, happy days. Mana base, plain swamps, loads of the dual lands. We do have Shadowy Backstreet because we are not that fast of a deck. We rarely care about Seam Ripping or Ghost Vacuuming on turn 1. So being able to surveil, help out our draws and put cards on our graves is good. And then we have 2 copies of Multiversal Passage, because in a dude colour deck you don't really need it, but sometimes we might want, if we have a decision to make, or if we've got 2 black and a Multiversal Passage, it can help out. So that's the deck. It's really, really fun. I don't think I've lost yet playing it. I'm going to play a few more games. But it is quite often, even if you get your Chosen by Valgavoth onto Ketramose and you can't attack yet, your opponent can't do anything. So, they just end up scooping. So it is quite funny just getting a lock in. And people aren't really playing Enchantment Hate much anymore. I was going to put in Optimistic Scavenger to help grow, but I realised actually you don't need it. You just need to survive until you get to 4 mana, play out one of your 3 or 4 drops, and then play out Chosen by Valgavoth. and then you've won. So really fun deck and a pretty powerful one as well, and something a bit different. Hope you enjoy it. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll give a shout out to my patrons. They are Arcadius, Mihal, Thomas and Adrian. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you everyone else for your support, and I'll see you all in the gameplay. Our opponent goes first. We don't have any creatures, but we have, well, a couple of bits of removal. Do we need a Seam Rip turn 1? We do not. I think we just need to find other things for now. We're up against Jeskai by the looks of it. Well, not by the looks of it. We are up against Jeskai. We will take out their weapons manufacturing. Next turn we can clandestine work. Or maybe Seam Rip if we need to again. If I have another weapons manufacturing. Well, let's clandestine work. Sure, let's keep another one. And there's a Ketramose. Now we have to, well, say we have to watch out for counter spells. But we're fine. They could have a bounce spell. Do we want to Seam Rip? No, not yet. Could do with a Shard Mage's Rescue. I think we Seam Rip that. But then once we get chosen by Valgavoth down, it's going to be tough. We do get a draw. I'm worried about Shattered by Ghosts in case they do have a bounce spell. But we can clandestine work. To draw a couple of cards. I wouldn't mind another Deadly Cover-Up. Or a Ghost Vacuum. So we can start exiling things from our graveyard. Tezzeret. Oh, they might have a glass casket. That's going to be a problem. Oh, Dustrose Reliquary, yeah. Yeah, that's annoying. Well, there's another Ketramose. And we will Shattered by Ghosts. Tezzeret. And we have a Shard Mage's Rescue. We still do need another chosen by Valgavoth. There's a relic. What do they have? What do they have? They sack a land to go drawing. Bold. Well, I think we keep Strategic Betrayal. That should put us up to 7. We're about to 14, they're down to, sorry, we're up to 12. They're down to 13. And we keep hold of Shard Mage's Rescue. And going digging again. Do we Shard Mage's Rescue that? No, because they can't pay it. Well, let's just swing in for another 5. I'd love another Chosen by Valgavoth. But yeah, they are pretty dead. We can seam rip that. Or Shelter by Ghost it, I suppose. Doesn't really matter. Another Legion Extruder. And now they don't have the mana to create a golem. Well, let's seam rip. Let's carry on exiling and drawing. Wow, just all the lands. And we'll take out one of the blockers. And we want to hold up Shard Mage's Rescue. Melded Moxite. But I'm fairly sure. Well, if they get a blocker, obviously, then they can double block Ketramose. But obviously we do get another chance to draw with Ghost Vacuum. Would have made more sense to sack the Moxite. Fair enough. We don't get another chance to draw. So they can double block. Do you imagine they do? Otherwise they're dead. And we still have the Shard Mage's Rescue. Four mana, 4 cards. Not enough mana. The ward, I think it's the ward on Shattered by Ghost, which is the real annoying thing. Wall 2 is, you know, nothing to sneeze about. Ooh, we go first. Sure, why not? Not the best opening hand. Hopefully we're up against a graveyard deck. And hopefully we draw white mana. Well, we do have the Barbed Servitor. I think it's a Servitor. I think it's the first time we've seen that. We are not up against a graveyard deck. And we don't have white mana. Yeah, they are, I'm guessing, 5-colour spiders. Let's pitch the grey, and you are coming down on white. And we don't need you for now. If they can get down Signs of the Earth Spider / Cosmic Spider-Man next turn. Oh, actually, I'll wait until... Oh, there's a Chosen. Yeah, if they've got Signs of the Earth Spider and the land, we're just dead. What is this stick for? But if we survive another turn, chosen by Valgavoth. What is the stick for? Do you have a burn spell? Or has this just triggered them as well? If we had a white land earlier, seen Rip, taken out the Demo would have been pretty good. And, you know, there's no point in playing the Servitor because it becomes suspect and it can't block anyway. Wow. Ketramose Salt. Well, let's do it on the basis that if they've got Scions, we're dead. I don't think having 9 health as opposed to 10 health is going to make a life. Sorry, is going to make a huge amount of difference. But we may have also just scared them off. Does look that way, doesn't it? There was still a stick. I wonder what it was. A burst lightning, maybe? Because you can go face with that. obviously the version of the deck that we played a couple of days ago didn't have any removal. But, yeah. Ketramose just seems to have annoyed them. Maybe they have DC'd, we'll give them the benefit of doubt, but it does mean when they come back. Unless they have a, you know, they could quite easily have an enchantment destruction effect. They do have green and white. But the fact they didn't attack suggests they're not here at all. Do 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 do. Yay for rope. We go first with a lot of tap lands. But we've got Ketramose, we've got Chosen by Valgavoth. More ways to exile graveyards would be good. I'll keep that just for the card draw. Llanowar Elves. We do need that for the Chosen by Valgavoth. We probably strategic... Do we strategic betrayal? No, I don't think we do for now. I don't know why we didn't attack with that. Fine, let's do it. They're just going to exile their Llanowar Elves. I imagine. Oh, maybe they have another one. Or do they have an Orzhov? We don't need another land for now. Yep, of course they have an Orzhov. Well, we will get down Ketramose, because then next turn, even without being able to block, it does make it harder to get through. Big boys. Why you're not attacking with Llanowar Elves? Cowards. There's another Chosen. And while it's unlikely they have an XR, well, I think impossible to have an XR effect, we do keep up Shard Mage's Rescue. Shame we don't get the lifelink from it. Oh, let's just go drawing. Don't need either of you. Well, actually, no. Because then we can start exiling cards in our graveyard. Let's get rid of a land. There's another Ketramose. And our opponent scoops, because there is no point. we'll go first. We've got everything we need. We just need some more lands. But we have a Savale land. We pitch that for now. Land of war, living on the run. Third land would be good. Well, that's an interesting one. The Scouring Storm Soul. There's a land. There's a Ketramose. So at the moment, can't do, well, a lot. We have to Shelter by Ghosts there or Robberoid. Yeah, we'll keep Strategic Betrayal. There's another Robberoid. But now we can Chosen by Valgavoth on our Ketramose. If they can remove it, we're dead. And they do have white mana, and obviously green can deal with enchantments. Yeah, there's no point attacking. We will steal their forest. Let's just make our Ketramose as chunky as possible. And our opponent scoops because they just can't, yeah, doesn't really do much. We were reluctant to exile the forest on our turn because while we would have drawn a card, it would have knocked us out to 5. And yeah, if we drew a land and we could deadly cover up, obviously we wouldn't done anything in our graveyard to exile, but we could have maybe Strategic Betrayal to exile something to get closer to that 7. We go first. Well, we've got no creatures, but hopefully we can survive into one. Or our Chosen by Valgavoth. We need a 5th land eventually for deadly cover up, but not yet. Let's get down a Ghost Vacuum. Up against everyone's favourite, Demir. We will exile our own planes for Ketramose. There is one of our creatures. Which we can play next turn. But we probably hold up for the 5th land for Shard Mage's Rescue. Okay, they bounce our Ghost Vacuum. We replay our Ghost Vacuum. The Plains is still exiled. Do you have something else you want? Do you want to bounce another one? interesting. They've given us 2 fish. Well, seeing as we're not in a rush, and I imagine they have a 3 steps ahead. Yeah, there we go. Question is, do they have more than one? The fact they're so bothered about the graveyard as well. There's a Cura. I think we do strategic betrayal. What do they pitch? Well, there is a Ketramose. Well, let's Ketramose then. And strategic betrayal. Get rid of their Cura and their graveyard. And there's a Shelter by Ghosts, and they scoop. Didn't get to see what we wanted to do, but we didn't draw our Chosen by Valgavoth, but we got the big dubs.